Along the edge of land and sea, where waves erase footprints as quickly as they are made, the laughing gull lives in constant negotiation with motion, noise, and opportunity. Its voice cuts through coastal air, sharp, repetitive, unmistakable, earning the bird its name long before its behavior is understood. To the untrained ear, the call sounds chaotic, even mocking. But within that sound lies structure, awareness, and intent. The laughing gull evolved in environments where stillness is rare. Coastlines are unstable by nature, reshaped daily by tides, storms, and shifting food sources. In such places, survival favors flexibility over specialization. This gull did not become faster than every predator, nor stronger than its rivals. Instead, it became adaptable, capable of exploiting change rather than resisting it. Physically, the laughing gull reflects this balance. Its streamlined body supports long, efficient flight over water and shore. Wings are built for endurance rather than soaring elegance, allowing the bird to patrol wide areas in search of opportunity. The dark hood, present during breeding season, is more than visual flair. It functions as a social signal, amplifying expressions and making individual intentions visible within dense colonies where clarity matters. Feeding behavior reveals the gull's true strength. Unlike seabirds bound to specific prey or hunting techniques, the laughing gull operates as an opportunist. Fish, crustaceans, insects, refuse, and even food stolen from others all become viable options. This dietary flexibility allows the species to thrive in environments that fluctuate wildly in productivity. Where specialization would fail, adaptability succeeds. Sound plays a central role in this strategy. Calls are constant, varied, and context-driven. They coordinate movement within flocks, signal food discoveries, warn of threats, and establish social hierarchy. In crowded colonies, silence would mean invisibility. The laughing gull chooses the opposite, asserting presence through sound in spaces where attention is survival. Breeding colonies bring this behavior into sharp focus. Thousands of birds gather in tight proximity, nesting on low islands, marshes, or sandy spits barely above sea level. Competition is intense, space is limited, predators are always near. In these conditions, aggression is common, but so is cooperation. Birds respond instantly to alarm calls, rising together in chaotic clouds that overwhelm intruders through sheer sensory overload. Yet this chaos is controlled. Each bird recognizes neighbors, remembers conflicts, and adjusts behavior accordingly. Social memory reduces constant fighting, conserving energy for defense and feeding. Chicks grow in an environment saturated with sound, learning early to distinguish warning from background noise. Their survival depends not on silence, but on interpretation. As human presence expands along coasts, the laughing gull adapts once more. Harbors, beaches, and cities become extensions of its habitat. Food becomes more abundant but also more unpredictable. Threats shift from natural predators to vehicles, pollution, and disturbance. Still, the gull persists, recalibrating its strategies without abandoning its core identity. The laughing gull does not retreat from chaos. It masters it. In doing so, it challenges assumptions about what it means to thrive in modern ecosystems. Survival here is not elegance or purity, it is awareness, flexibility, and the willingness to live where rules change constantly. Above the surf, amid wind and noise, the laughing gull's call continues, not as laughter, but as signal. A declaration that in a world defined by disturbance, adaptability is the loudest voice of all. The laughing gull does not survive alone. Its intelligence is not solitary, but collective, shaped by constant interaction within dense social systems. In a colony, every sound carries meaning, every movement is observed, and every mistake is remembered. This bird's mind is tuned not only to its environment, but to the behavior of others sharing it. Social hierarchy among laughing gulls is fluid yet unmistakable. Dominance is not fixed by size alone, but by timing, confidence, and experience. Individuals that learn quickly gain access to better feeding opportunities. Those that hesitate are displaced. Conflict is frequent, but rarely escalates to injury. Posturing, vocal aggression, and brief physical displays resolve most disputes efficiently. Energy is conserved for survival, not wasted on prolonged battles. Sound is the backbone of this system. The laughing gull's calls form a layered acoustic network, where multiple signals overlap without collapsing into noise. To human ears, it may sound chaotic. To the gull, it is structured information. Alarm calls cut sharply through background chatter. Food-related calls trigger immediate convergence. Aggressive calls establish boundaries. Each vocalization has context, and each bird learns to filter meaning from the flood. Urban environments amplify this dynamic. As coastlines urbanize, the laughing gull expands inland, adapting rapidly to human rhythms. Parking lots replace beaches. Rooftops replace cliffs. Harbors replace estuaries. These spaces are louder, brighter, more dangerous, but also richer in opportunity. Food waste becomes a resource. Human schedules create predictable patterns. The gull observes, learns, and exploits. This adaptability often brings the species into conflict with humans. What is perceived as nuisance behavior, stealing food, nesting near buildings, aggressive defense, is in fact an extension of the gull's natural strategy. The bird treats human-dominated spaces as competitive colonies, applying the same rules it would on a crowded shoreline. Attention equals opportunity. Boldness reduces uncertainty. Competition intensifies in these environments. Other gull species, pigeons, crows, and even mammals become rivals. The laughing gull responds not by retreating, but by escalating awareness. It positions itself advantageously, watches constantly, and reacts instantly. Success favors those that anticipate rather than react. Over time, individuals that master these dynamics dominate feeding sites and pass on learned behaviors to offspring. Chicks raised in urban colonies develop different risk tolerances than those in remote areas. They habituate quickly to noise and movement, learning which threats matter and which can be ignored. This selective attention is crucial. Overreacting wastes energy. Underreacting invites death. The laughing gull refines this balance with remarkable precision. Yet urban adaptation comes with hidden costs. Artificial lighting disrupts natural rhythms. Pollution affects food quality. Human disturbance increases stress during breeding. Colonies become more fragmented, forcing birds to renegotiate social structures repeatedly. Flexibility sustains survival, but it also stretches the species to its limits. Despite this, the laughing gull continues to succeed where many others fail. Its secret is not fearlessness, but calibration. It constantly updates its understanding of risk, reward, and response. It does not cling to tradition when conditions change. It experiments, abandons failures, reinforces success. In this way, the laughing gull mirrors the environments it inhabits, dynamic, noisy, competitive. It does not seek harmony. It seeks functionality. Above crowded shores and restless cities, its call persists, sharp, assertive, unignorable. Not laughter, but communication sharpened by pressure. A reminder that survival in the modern world belongs not to the strongest, but to those who learn fastest. The laughing gull's success often masks the cost of its flexibility. To observers, the species appears abundant, resilient, even dominant. But abundance can be deceptive. Thriving in altered environments requires constant adjustment, and adjustment demands energy. The gull pays this cost quietly, spread across physiology, behavior, and long-term population health. Ecologically, the laughing gull occupies a crucial intermediary role between marine and terrestrial systems. Feeding along shorelines, in marshes, and increasingly in human-modified spaces, it transfers nutrients across boundaries. Fish scraps, insects, and organic waste consumed at sea or coast are later deposited inland through movement and waste, subtly fertilizing and redistributing resources. This flow links systems that would otherwise remain disconnected. Predation pressure also shifts around the gull's presence. In breeding colonies, collective defense alters predator behavior, sometimes displacing pressure onto less social species nearby. This ripple effect can change local community dynamics, influencing which species succeed and which retreat. The laughing gull does not dominate by elimination, but by reweighting attention in the ecosystem. Human interaction complicates this balance. Coastal development compresses breeding habitats, forcing colonies into fewer, denser sites. Competition intensifies. Stress increases. Aggression rises. While the gull can tolerate crowding better than many birds, tolerance is not immunity. Reproductive success becomes uneven. Some colonies flourish briefly, others fail entirely. Food abundance from human sources introduces further distortion. Easily accessible calories reduce foraging effort but alter diet composition. Nutritional imbalances affect chick development and immune resilience. What looks like advantage may function as a trap, tying populations to unstable or unhealthy resources. When access changes suddenly, birds accustomed to abundance struggle to readjust. Noise and light pollution add invisible pressure. Constant stimulation disrupts rest cycles and communication clarity. Calls must compete with engines and crowds, forcing louder, more frequent signaling. This raises energy expenditure and stress hormones over time. The gull adapts, but adaptation here is a treadmill, constant movement to remain in place. These pressures do not usually produce immediate collapse. Instead, they accumulate. Lifespans shorten slightly. Breeding intervals stretch. Juvenile survival fluctuates unpredictably. The species remains visible, masking underlying volatility. This is why the laughing gull is often misread as invulnerable. Presence is mistaken for stability. Conflict with humans amplifies these dynamics. Efforts to control gull populations, through deterrence, habitat modification, or disturbance, often ignore the species' learning capacity. Gulls adapt quickly to new obstacles, sometimes escalating behaviors that intensify conflict rather than resolve it. Each attempt to simplify the system is met with complexity. Yet within this tension lies insight. The Laughing Gull reveals how modern ecosystems reward generalists while punishing specialists, how flexibility becomes both shield and strain. It shows that coexistence is not passive. It requires understanding feedback loops rather than suppressing symptoms. Where management aligns with the gull's natural behaviors, protecting breeding sites, moderating disturbance, maintaining ecological gradients, conflict decreases. Where it relies on constant pressure, the system destabilizes. The gull does not yield easily, not from aggression, but from learned persistence. As the day moves toward evening, colonies settle into uneasy quiet. Calls diminish but never disappear entirely. The air holds a residual tension, a sense that vigilance never fully shuts down. For the Laughing Gull, rest is temporary. Awareness is continuous. This is the cost of living on the edge, between land and sea, nature and human order, chaos and control. The Laughing Gull survives by staying alert, but alertness itself becomes a burden carried across generations. As evening settles along the coast, the Laughing Gull does not retreat from the world. It simply recalibrates. Calls soften, movements slow, but awareness never fully fades. The shoreline dims, waves continue their endless negotiation with land, and the gull remains suspended between both realms, neither fully marine nor fully terrestrial, neither wild nor domesticated. This in-between state defines the Laughing Gull's entire existence. Its story is not one of purity, but of compromise. Not harmony, but functionality. Where other species demand specific conditions to survive, the Laughing Gull accepts instability as a baseline. It lives with uncertainty, reads it, and turns it into momentum. In doing so, it becomes a mirror of the modern world itself, crowded, noisy, unpredictable, yet persistently alive. But adaptability has limits, and the Laughing Gull reveals them not through disappearance, but through tension. A life lived in constant alertness leaves little room for recovery. When every sound matters, rest becomes shallow. When every opportunity must be seized, restraint becomes rare. Over time, the system holds, but tightly, like a rope under strain. This is the lesson hidden beneath the bird's apparent success. The Laughing Gull teaches that survival in human-shaped ecosystems is possible, but not free. Flexibility replaces stability. Intelligence replaces security. Presence replaces peace. The species thrives, yet never fully relaxes. It exists in a state of permanent adjustment, always learning, always testing, always responding. In ecological terms, the gull occupies a paradoxical role. It benefits from disturbance, yet also signals imbalance. Its abundance does not mean health, but tolerance. Where Laughing Gulls dominate, the system has shifted toward generalists. Specialists fade quietly, leaving behind landscapes that function, but with reduced depth. This does not make the Laughing Gull a villain. It makes it a witness. A witness to how sound reshapes space. A witness to how intelligence negotiates chaos. A witness to how life persists even when ideal conditions are gone. At dusk, a gull lifts briefly into the air, silhouetted against a fading sky streaked with muted color. Its call echoes once more, not mocking, not joyful, but precise. A final signal before night. It is not asking for attention. It is confirming presence. I am still here. I have adapted. I am listening. The Laughing Gull does not promise a hopeful future, nor does it predict collapse. It simply demonstrates what it means to live where change is constant and balance is temporary. Its survival is not a victory. It is an ongoing negotiation. And along the darkening coast, as waves erase the last traces of day, that negotiation continues, sharp-eyed, loud when necessary, silent when it must be.